In our previous session, Krishna, the master, concluded that steady, sincere effort gradually leads to lasting growth and prepares the seeker for the highest goal. Today, he shifts the focus from progress to the way we live. Krishna, the master, explains that spiritual growth is not measured by how much we know, how much we do, how much discipline we practice in isolation. Real growth happens when wisdom becomes part of our everyday life. Let us begin with our invocation prayer. Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahaihi Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. तपस्विभ्योऽधिको योगी ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिकः कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी तस्माद् योगी भवार्जुन तपस्विभ्योऽधिको योगी ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिकः कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी तस्माद् योगी भवार्जुन. Krishna, the master, now compares different approaches to spiritual life. He mentions austerity, knowledge, and action, all of which are valuable. Yet, he says, the yogi stands apart. Why? Because a yogi does not stop with learning, discipline, or action alone. A yogi brings wisdom into daily living. Knowledge shapes decisions, discipline shapes character, action expresses values. When these three come together, wisdom becomes a way of life rather than an idea. So the key insight to remember, true growth comes when wisdom is understood, integrated, and lived in everyday life. Quick example. Imagine someone who reads many books about healthy living. They know what to eat. They know the importance of exercise. But unless those ideas become daily habits, their life does not change. The same is true of spiritual wisdom. Learning begins the journey. Learning begins the journey. Living it brings transformation. Learning begins the journey. Living it begins transformation. Mahatma Gandhi, a former Indian leader, political leader, expressed this beautifully. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. A yogi seeks this harmony. Wisdom is not merely remembered, it is reflected in daily choices. Let's look at the practical application. This verse invites us to ask a simple question. After learning something valuable, What is one small step I can take today? Perhaps it is speaking more patiently, listening more carefully, doing our work with greater attention, or offering help without expecting recognition. Small actions are where wisdom becomes real. So practice, learn sincerely, reflect deeply, practice consistently, live wisely. So the reflection, knowledge becomes transformative when it guides the way we think, act, and live. As wisdom is repeatedly lived through study practice, the mind becomes quieter, more integrated, and better prepared to recognize the truth that has always been present. So, as we close, today's verse reminds us that spiritual life is not measured by how much we know, but by how deeply that knowledge shapes the way we live. When understanding becomes action and action becomes character, wisdom quietly transforms our lives. In the final verse of this chapter, Krishna, the Master, reveals the highest expression of yoga. The yogi whose mind rests in the Supreme with unwavering faith and devotion. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om स्वाध्याय प्रवचनाभ्याम न प्रमदितव्यम ओम तत्सत।